Hi everyone and welcome back to the ParleAfrica channel. My name is Paul King and here we make learning languages, especially French, simple, practical and fun. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can speak about yourself in French. How can you introduce yourself with confidence? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to introduce yourself in French, say your name, your age, where you're from, where you live. You should be able to talk about your nationality, what you do for a living, and if you're a student, what you're studying, and so on. So let's get straight into it. One of the very first things you need to learn in any language is how to talk about yourself. Now, imagine you're meeting, let's say, a French speaker for the first time. There are some questions they will most likely ask you. For example, what's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do? And you should be able to, answer those questions and introduce yourself naturally. So let's get into it one step after the other. Saying your name. How do you say your name? In French, there are several ways to introduce your name. And the most common one is to say, Je m'appelle so so so. So if my name is Paul, I would say, Je m'appelle Paul. It literally means I call myself Paul. Now, another way you could introduce yourself is to say, Mon nom est Paul, which means my name is Paul. Yes, even though this is grammatically correct, but Je m'appelle actually sounds more natural when introducing yourself. You could also say, Moi, c'est Paul, which means I am Paul. And this is a very natural, I think the most conversational way to introduce yourself in French. So you could just meet someone and say, Bonjour, moi, c'est Paul. It means hello or good morning, I am Paul. Exactement. Now, how would you ask someone for their name in French? To ask someone for their name, you could either ask formally or informally. In our previous video, we've differentiated between formal and informal greetings. We've said that you formally speak with people that you respect, your boss, maybe your parents, someone you hold in high esteem, while you informally talk with your friends and people that you casually relate with. So to ask someone's name informally, you would say, Comment tu t'appelles? Which means, what's your name? It literally means, what do you call yourself? And you already know how to respond. Je m'appelle Paul. Je m'appelle whatsoever your name is. Now, what if you want to ask formally or politely, or maybe you're talking with someone you don't really know well? You would say, Comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? It means, what's your name? And as I said, you already know how to respond. Je m'appelle Paul. Let's move to the next thing. How do you say your age? In French, we use the verb avoir, which means to have, whenever you're talking about age. Because the French believe that age is not something you are, but something you have. So, in English, you say, I am 25 years old. In French, you would say, I have 25 years, not I am. It's actually, I have. So, I'm 25 years old. In French will be J'ai 25 ans. I have 25 years. I'm 18 years old will be J'ai 18 ans. I'm 18 years old. I'm 20 years old will be J'ai 20 ans. Exactement. That is how you say your age in French. Now, how do you ask someone's age in French? You could also do that informally and formally. Informally, you would say, Tu as quel âge? Or you could ask, Quel âge as-tu? Which means, how old are you? You already know how to respond. J'ai 20 ans. I'm 20 years old. All right. Now, if you want to ask formally, you would say, Quel âge avez-vous? The same thing, but formal. To informal, you use vous when you are speaking formally. So that's that about asking people's age. Let's move to the next thing, which is talking about where you are from. Now, to say where you are from in French, you use Je viens d'où. then you add wherever you are from. Je viens d'où. Je viens d'où literally means I come from so so so. So if I'm from Nigeria, I would say je viens du Nigeria. I am from Nigeria. Je viens du Ghana. I'm from Ghana. Je viens du Kenya. I'm from Kenya. Je viens du Canada. I'm from Canada. Je viens de France. I'm from France. So that's how to say where you are from. What if you want to talk about where you live, where you reside? To talk about where you live, you will say j'habite à so so so, whatsoever the name of the place you live is. I live in Lagos, so I will say j'habite à Lagos. J'habite à Paris. I live in Paris. J'habite à Abuja. J'habite à Montréal. I live in Montreal. So that's exactly how to talk about where you live. Now, what if you want to ask a question? If you want to ask someone about where they live, you would, as I said, you could ask informally or you could ask formally. To ask informally, you would say tu habites où? It means where do you live? Formally, you would say vous habitez où? Can you notice the difference? Tu informal, vous formal. And you already know how to answer. J'habite à Lagos. Now, how do you talk about your nationality? I'm Nigerian, so I would say je suis Nigérian. I am Nigerian. If I'm French, I would say je suis français. If I'm Ghanaian, I would say je suis Ghanéen. If I'm Canadian, I would say je suis Canadien. So that is how to talk about your nationality. Now, one thing I want you to realize here at this point is that French adjectives usually must agree with the gender of the noun. So if I were to be female, I will say, instead of saying je suis Nigérian, I will say je suis Nigérian. If I was French, I would say je suis française. I will use the feminine, not the masculine now. All right. So that is how you talk about nationality in French. So now let's talk about saying what you do, your profession, your occupation, or probably if you're a student, what you study. So how do you talk about what you do? You use je suis, which literally means I am, and you add your profession to that. So if I'm a teacher, I will say je suis professeur. I am a teacher. Je suis étudiant. I am a student. Now, if I'm a female, if I'm a girl, I will say je suis étudiante, which means I'm a student, just feminine. If I'm an engineer, I will say je suis ingénieur. I'm an engineer. Je suis médecin. I'm a doctor. Je suis développeur. I'm a developer. Je suis entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. So that's how you introduce what you talk about, what you do, your occupation, your profession, and stuff. Now, what if you're a student and you want to say something like, I'm a student, I'm studying this, I'm studying that. You use the word j'étudie, which means I study or I am studying, and then you add whatever it is you are studying to that sentence. So I could say something like, j'étudie le français. I'm studying French. J'étudie l'informatique. I'm studying computer science. J'étudie le droit. I'm studying law. J'étudie la médecine. I'm studying medicine. So that is how you talk about profession or your course of study if you are a student in French. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments below your profession if you work, or your course of study if you're a student, just for you to have something to practice with. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next one. À très vite.